What's up guys, English Dan. Got a bit of a blast from the past for you here. This, if you didn't know, is the T-Mobile G1. It was also called the HTC Dream around the rest of the world. This is the very first Android phone. It had the very first version of Android on there for public release. This is like ancient, guys. So we're going to unbox it and have a quick look at the device and see what it looks like in 2020. Be right back. Alright guys, welcome back. So here it is. I got this from Des from T-Mobile. I don't know whether you know who he is. I'll link his Twitter down below in the description. I've been looking for one of these for a while in the box and Des managed to hook me up. He's a good guy. He's been around on Twitter for a long time. He does the unboxings in the most extreme ways possible. Good fun to watch. Anyway, let's get back to this. The T-Mobile G1 or the HTC Dream, wherever you are in the world. Let's unbox this thing. This box is huge. Look at the size of this. It's massive. It's actually quite a nice box as well. But yeah, this thing is massive. It's absolutely huge. Anyway, we don't care about the outer box. As you can see, there's the phone. They've changed a little bit since then. So, here we go. It's a outside cover first. And then you get still a big box. We open up the top. And you'll notice the top has got a flap on it. We'll get back to that in a minute. Here's the phone. We'll get back to that in a minute. This is the copper G1. From T-Mobile. This was all the rage back in the day. So, but yeah, we'll get back onto that in a second. What else comes in the box? There's no charger in the box because I've been using it. I advertised on Twitter last week that this unboxing was coming. I put the phone on charge for a while and I took it off charge and it was dead. I'm like, why? Tried various cables. There was no battery in it. Anyway, so yeah, I'm sure we've all done that. Maybe not, but still. Whatever, right? So yeah, it has this foam padding. Make sure the phone stays safe. Once you pull that out of there, you get these goodies, apart from the charger. This is cool. A little Android keychain. Look at that thing. I remember these. The arms move as well. You can pose them in little ways with its arms. But yeah, you don't get anything like that in any of the Google phones or anything anymore. But you got it with the G1. You also got the stereo headset that plugged in via micro USB. Look at that. Never been touched, never been opened. Stereo headset. I remember these. These used to hurt my ears like crazy. Really did. But yeah, so you got headphones and like a lot of budget manufacturers nowadays, or mid-tier and lower end, you get the carrying case. And the little G1 just slid inside it. How cute, right? But yeah. So, even has the G1 logo on the side. So, what else do we get inside this box of goodies? Let's go in here. We're just going to empty this out. Like so. Alright. Now, this is back in the days when a user manual was like the Bible. It had so many pages. And here it is. Look at that thing. Getting started with the G1. Look at it. Massive. Absolutely everything you needed to know about the G1 and accessories for it are in this book. I don't know whether it's a T-Mobile produced book. It does have the T-Mobile logo on there, or whether this came with the HTC Dream as well. But man, whoever put this together, they really worked hard on this. It's so impressive. You don't get nothing like this anymore. You get little slip of paper that tells you, hey, don't do this or your house is going to set on fire. This thing, you could literally sit there one night, or when you're on the throne, like I do, and you could ingest this and know exactly what you're doing by the time you're finished. It's like a school yearbook. Look at that. Anyway, so yes, you got rather big manuals back in the day. 2008, if I remember rightly. I think it's 2008. Then you get your terms and conditions, return policy. These were also huge back in the day, whereas now they're just like a little foldable piece of paper. Oh, no. But they are Spanish, the other side, so you can let them off that. It's not quite as aggressive as you think it is, or as big as you think it is, but yeah, still. And then, tips and tricks from T-Mobile with your G1. T-Mobile went all out with this. That gives you all your shortcuts, touchscreen navigation, navigating using the keys. You can get set global shortcuts. You could do all kinds with this phone. It was pretty decent back in the day. You could have the extended home screen, as they called it back then. Yeah, pretty cool. And it comes with the original Big Mama Jamma. Look at this thing. SIM card. Do you remember these SIM cards, people? This was a SIM card. Nowadays, a SIM card is it's still smaller than the gold piece that you see in there. But these were big SIM cards. Look at the size of that thing. It's so big, this SIM card, that I've had to use 2 adapters. And I'll show you. I've had to use 2 adapters on mine. There's the SIM card now out of my phone. And there's the adapter. The grey's one adapter and the pink is the other adapter. And I've had to use both of them in 2020 to be able to use this phone. Nuts, right? Anyway, let's see what the phone looks like when it powers on. So I was just about to put my SIM in the battery. Do you remember these days? You couldn't put the SIM in unless you removed the battery. And then this gargantuan SIM is able to just slide right in. Even though I've put the SIM in the wrong way. But whatever. Remember that you had to remove your battery to be able to put your SIM in and out. Oh, they were the days. All right, we are back with the G1 right here. Just for comparison size, that's the same size as a credit card. That's the original SIM that I was just showing you that came in the box. The screen is minute. Look at the size of that thing. It's about as wide, a little bit narrower than a credit card, and not as long. Like, wow. And this was pretty big back in the day. Anyway, let's power this thing on, because, you know, we have a battery in it right now. Whoop, there we go. This is the original splash screen on the G1, your first Android. If I remember rightly, well, I know for a fact, Android had blue writings on and something spins around. But yeah, it takes an age to boot up. So if I fast forward, you'll know. Still waiting. Still waiting. Yeah, buddy. Welcome to the T-Mobile G1. Let's press that little guy. Here we go. Learn how to use it. Let's skip that. We know how to use this. Let me go and get signed in on this bad boy. So we finally found a username that works and a password. For some reason it won't take any of my Gmail accounts that I have right now. Let's do this. I had to create a new one. It took like 84 years. Just put in the security code. I'm going to wait for another 3.5 hours. This is like watching one of Joe Hussey's videos. I don't know whether you know Joe Hussey, but you want to get on Twitter. His name is @RealJoeHussey. He releases like commentary videos. He's got this new thing out right now called 3 Things. And I'm not joking, it's more like 3 hours. It really is. I'll link him down in the bottom so you can find out Joe for yourself. He's a really nice guy though, and he's old as dirt. And we're still waiting. Ooh, look at that. Your account has been created. Slide the keyboard back to continue. Remember the keyboard? And this sliding motion was the best. Look at that. Boom. Anyway, Google location services. Sure, because, you know, whatever. Google applications are syncing data now. Well, I ain't got any data or anything, so let's finish setup. See how many years this takes. Supposedly I've got a voicemail while I've been setting this up as well. Amazing, right? Look at that. There is your original Android. It's not as slow as I thought it was going to be, to be honest. I thought it was going to be a lot slower than... Oh, yeah, there you go. You still got your Google search bar up at the top. You still got your microphone up at the top. And then you've got your apps. Look at that. Look at the old YouTube icon. Voice messages. Look at the music. It's so old. I remember all these things. The little email. Look at the Gmail icon. This was when apps were meant to look cool, like 3D graphical images, little sprites. Look at the speed on that, people. Look at that. This is a fast phone. I wonder if... We'll try something in a minute. But I'm not going to make you endure the pain of watching me try and get this to work. I'll see if it does first. Be right back. Alright, so if you're wondering what I was doing while I said I'll be right back and I won't make you wait, I've just loaded up the YouTube app and I'm now doing a search for my channel. This would be awesome if YouTube works on this. It's like the very first iteration of YouTube. It's now connected to my Wi-Fi because I didn't want it to take so long, but it's still taking a long time, and that's due to this phone. This had a 528 megahertz Qualcomm MSM72018 ARM11 processor. 528 megahertz. 256 megabytes of internal storage. 192 megabyte RAM, whatever. It can take up to a 16 gigabyte SD card. And the battery is a whopping 1,150 milliamp hours. So anyway, while we're doing that, let's have a look here. So this is the settings menu. Samsung kept this menu this way for the longest time. I don't know why, but it was just the same, except it scrolled a lot quicker. They didn't change it apart from add a ton of bloat when they used to have TouchWiz. But it's not, I mean, it's not very responsive, don't get me wrong, and the frame rate's terrible, but I expected it to be a lot worse than this. Anyway, let's go into About Phone and see what's going on here. System updates, I don't want to do that. Firmware version 1.6. I don't know whether you can see that, but yeah, firmware version 1.6. We're now on Android 10. All right, so you can see the screen. Had the rollerball on here as well, and look, you could highlight the icons and switch pages. I never used it. I was always really clumsy with it. But yeah, you could go up to the search bar, highlight your icons, and then you could click on it. Look, see, switch page. There's the app drawer, so I can do that. Boom, and it'd open the app drawer. All right, brought you in a little bit closer. So we see YouTube just forever loading, and I'm on Wi-Fi. I'm not surprised it's not really going to work. I mean, if we tap on something, does it even attempt to do anything? We'll see. I'll give it a second. All it says is loading in the top corner. Not expecting it to, but it would be funny if it did. Displaying in that beautiful screen resolution of 320 by 480 on this 3.2 HVGA screen, TFT LCD. 180 pixels per inch? But I don't think so. Anyway, so we're going to go home. As you can see at the bottom, it had dedicated buttons as well as the roller. You had a dedicated menu button. Power off, put your phone calls down. Back arrow to get back. And a dedicated call button. Also, on the side, where is it? One of these, dedicated camera button for that huge 3.15 megapixel camera with autofocus. And you get people nowadays moaning that, oh, it's only a 12 megapixel. Oh, it's only a 24 megapixel. We dealt with 3 megapixel cameras back in the day, and let me tell you, it's not like your 3 megapixel depth sensors on macros you get nowadays. It was like shooting with a potato. I don't know whether it works. We'll find out. I'll let it sit here and load, but not right now. And then I'll bring a video to you showing you how it works. If it works, it might not do. So we can't blame it if not. Like I say, it's on 1.6, Android 1.6. Craziness. Anyway, all right, guys, that'll be it. Peace.